All right, everybody. Welcome to the Totally Awesome Show. I'm your host, Aaron, and this is your other host, Candace. And we have with us today the man, the myth, the legend, Rob Wiethoff. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Good,
Thank
man.
you so
Good.
much. Thank you so much for having me, man. Both of you. This is really, really awesome. Thank you.
No, hey, we appreciate you being on, man. We've had
Mm.
a blast so far. Um, we'll get to the juicy stuff a little bit later. The Red Dead and the Tombstone Redemption thing later, but we kind of want to start off. We know you had talked a little bit at one of the panels about your journey. What kind of got you started into this whole crazy thing? Like, how did you kind of get started in the beginning?
Honestly, I fell into it, and people ask me a lot, how do you get involved with voice acting or motion capture or any of the stuff, that I guess anybody knows me for, right?
Right.
I fell into it. I had no idea. Even when I was at the audition, I had no idea that I was even actually auditioning for a video game. I didn't know. Nobody knew. Of course, Rockstar did, but
Right.
my agent didn't tell me. The people at the casting off, where I went for the audition, they didn't say. It was very secretive. I assumed I was auditioning for a commercial or some kind of promo thing for a video game that had already been made. And the only reason I say video game at all is because the audition was for Untitled Video Game Project.
Mm.
Otherwise, I would have had no idea at all what I was even doing at the audition.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I know they keep it tight-lipped, but sometimes it's like, I'd at least like to know what I'm kind of getting into. So, am I on? Yeah, are you recording? Am I on film right now, or am I using my voice, or like what? Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I guess I wasn't. I wasn't nervous or uncomfortable with it, but I really had no idea. And I think honestly, it's better in this case. It's better that I
Right.
didn't know, because
Right.
even though I'm not a huge gamer, I know what Rockstar Games is. I know
Right.
what they do. So if I had known I was auditioning for them, I would have been nervous for sure.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, guess what? You're going to be in the next big Rockstar open world huge hit. So no pressure though, right?
Right.
Don't mess up.
Just be yourself.
Right. Be yourself, but be better. That's what we're looking for.
When did you know that this was going to be a big thing? Like your character, the story, like when did that officially hit you?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think probably it didn't really hit me until I started hearing from Rockstar how happy they were with the sales of Red Dead Redemption, because throughout filming, I guess they don't call it filming, throughout
kind of the recording sessions and
Production.
everything.
Yeah, whatever you call the
Right.
process of performance capture, throughout that whole process, they kept saying, you still don't know what this is. You still don't realize how big of a thing this could potentially be. And I was like, yeah, I really don't. And then, then when I found that they were satisfied with the outcome, then I realized, okay, I should be too, I guess. And
Right.
that's kind of when it all started to hit me,
Right. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I know you talked a little bit about your whole kind of start into acting being kind of another one of those, random things. It was like a commercial or something you kind of, or no, it was a soap opera, right? That you kind of got started on. And what happened with all that?
Yeah. And I mean, it's a long, but to make a long story short, a girl that I was dating at the time decided she was going to go to LA and live with her friend who lived there and worked doing something at CBS. And I don't know if it was for Young and the Restless or if it was just something in the building. Anyway, I went to visit my then girlfriend, and while I was there, we toured CBS because we had access to. And while we were there, the people from the soap opera asked us if we wanted to come the next day and be extras on the show. And we said, yeah, why not? Whatever. And So we did, and it was cool. It was an experience unlike anything I had ever done, and we enjoyed it. But then, I had been back from this vacation for months, and the show finally aired, and I had so many people from my hometown say, "You were on it, so you were on Young and the Restless. You were on it. I saw you." And I thought, "Yeah, but I wasn't really." But and so,
right.
I just, at that point in my life, I didn't know at all what I wanted to do. I had no idea, and so I kind of decided I'm gonna go back there again on vacation and just see if I really want to move out there. That girl and I had broken up already at this point, but I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it out there, and so I went. I went to L.A., stayed in a hotel, and I picked up the phone and called CBS, got somehow connected to someone at Young and the Restless and said, "Hey," I said, "Hey, this is Rob Wiethoff, and I've worked on your show again as an extra. I'm in town again, and I'll be an extra again if you want me to be." They said, "Can you be here at 8 in the morning?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll be there."
Nice.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
You just make the phone call,
Right, you got it. You have to take your destiny in your own hands sometimes, man. They'll never know unless you tell them, "Hey, I want in, man.
You're available."
Gotta go for it. Yeah.
I don't know why I never tried to call anyone else. Warner Brothers, I know you're making a movie and I'm in town.
Right.
Right.
Hey, what do you need?
Hey, man. Hey, stranger things have happened. I mean, that's like Candace and I say, hey, nobody's going to know unless you ask them, So you just got to throw yourself out there, and weirder things have happened. So
Sure.
You never know. No, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Were you, when the game initially came out, were you kind of much of a gamer? Did you play it at all? Did you kind of check it out when it came out to see?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not much of a gamer, and I know that disappoints a lot of people, but it's better to just be honest.
Right.
And it's not because I don't like it. I do like it, and I know again that I like it because of course I did try to play Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare, Red Dead 2. Of course I want to enjoy that the way everybody else does, but there's a few things right now. I've got a wife and 2 young kids. I've got a regular job. And when I sit down to play these things, first of all, I'm terrible at it, like really bad. And so that makes it take longer.
Right.
But I see things, a lot of stuff for the first time, the way it looks in the game versus the way it looked on stage.
Right.
And it's so different, of course. And so I am blown away by all of that. I do really enjoy it, but I just at this point I don't have time to really experience it the way I want to. So
and I understand that 100% because it took me didn't have the time in my schedule for it. I love the first Red Dead, couldn't wait to play the second Red Dead, but I wanted to enjoy it and I didn't have time in my schedule. So it's like I understand 100% when you've got other things going on in life, you need to prioritize, so I totally feel you there.
Well, and I mean, it's priorities, but it's also like, so you got to remember when we did Red Dead Redemption 2, I traveled from Indiana where I live to New York to do that work, and I would be gone. At the beginning, it wasn't quite as consistent, but for 2 solid years of that work, I was in New York for 3 weeks. Then I'd come back to Indiana for 2, then back for 3, then back for 2. And so
that's hard.
That kind of
Yeah.
I mean, I really lived in New York, and I would visit Indiana where my family was. And so anyway, now that I'm home, I'm physically home, and I'm not traveling nearly as much as I was. I want my family to know that I'm actually part of it,
Right.
And
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who's that guy that used to show up,
Yeah. I guess he stuck around this time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you have to introduce yourself to your kids, hi, I'm Rob, guys. That's you don't want that. So you definitely want to be hanging around. So that's cool, man. That's cool.
But that's cool, that your kids might grow up with it. They might, take to and be like, my dad was a part of this. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's a very cool legacy to leave behind in a character.
Well, yeah. I mean, thank you. I don't try to push it on them or be like, hey, you
Right.
guys know about this, right? Because of course they're my kids,
Right.
They'll
Right.
figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're into it, great. And
Right.
if not, then I guess I'm lucky that other people are.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yep. Yep. There's always that, for actors, a lot of times it's like, hey, I'm this character, I'm so cool, everyone loves me, and then your kids are like, yeah, whatever, dad. That's usually how it goes. So like, I was in this really successful cowboy game. Like, okay, whatever, dad, cool, you're a cowboy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Go
Dad.
get me lunch. Go get me a burrito from Taco Bell.
Right.
Oh man, that's awesome. For the second game, did you have any info, about like the main character, Arthur being the main character, John kind of having a back seat for a minute, or is it pretty hush hush from the get go on that game too?
No, well, so I knew that I was not going to be the playable character. I knew that much. I knew that it was a prequel, and I
Mhm.
knew that I was not going to be the playable character, but I didn't know who it was, and I really didn't know much about it. They did tell me that they thought that I would probably work a year,
Mhm.
but more than likely way less than that.
Right.
And I thought, well, then perfect. Yeah,
Right,
that
that's
works great.
Hmm.
And it turned out to be,
Right.
yeah, I worked for way longer than that, which I promise you, I'm so happy about. And then
Mhm.
also, if you play the epilogue, John is the playable
Right.
character.
He
So,
is. I was gonna say he
Right.
takes over in the epilogue, so
yeah, which I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how much is set in stone for Rockstar even when they begin
Right.
these whole things. I don't know. I don't know if it evolves as it's going or I don't know.
because it's a lengthy process. I mean, years and years and years, and thousands of actors get pulled in on this thing. So it's like, is everything right now? Are they evolving, like you said, as they go on, as they see people interacting with each other, and then write more and add more to it? So that's interesting, because everything seems very secretive with Rockstar.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think as far as that goes, yeah, I think that does happen. I think they do see things that they like as far as characters and they want to expand on.
Mhm.
Right.
And I think that part is something that evolves. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to have new technology too, right? These new game engines and whatever. And
Right.
you want to take those to their threshold, and you want that to be the experience that each person playing the game gets to have, because if it's possible, of course you want to provide it, but you don't really know what the threshold is until you find it. And so there were a lot of things that we shot which didn't make it into the game because they were beyond the threshold of the capability, I guess, of the game engine.
Right. Right.
So then that I don't know if that's evolving, but it is part of the process.
Right.
You know?
They're
Yeah.
testing it out, though.
Yeah, I know that's a lot. I think because we know some people that work on games behind the scenes and everything, and you know, it's the same thing as film and animation and all that. You have all these cool ideas. It might not work. Just the scenes might not work, or it plays out differently than it was in your head or on the storyboard. It just you're just not feeling it. Or like you said, there's the hardware limitations. You want to you don't want this, by the time it comes out, it's already 3 years old technology wise, so you don't want to be just doing the bare minimum. You really want to push the envelope, and Rockstar does an amazing, it's still 5 years later, one of the best looking game. People, ask, is this the best looking video game out there still? And you want to do that. But like you said, you have maybe, the creators really have this crazy idea that just can't work with the current generation. So you got to kind of rewrite, a little bit here and there, but
Yeah.
yep. They'll get there eventually.
Yeah. I don't understand how anyone can do anything not knowing for sure what the capability. I guess that's
Right.
why you have to just
Well,
Test it out.
yeah, Candace and I have been gamer nerds our entire life, pretty much, and I've always loved that, since the Super Mario Nintendo days, and just I love now with the internet being able to look at all these old interviews of these, all these amazing Japanese creators where they say, hey, we wanted to do this, but the console wouldn't let me, ride on a dinosaur or something, so we had to wait till the next console to come out, and then the character could ride around. It's very cool. I don't think they know until they try to push the envelope in the system, and the software just tells them this
Mhm.
ain't happening, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a learning besides trying to have the story and the acting, you know, you
Yeah.
never know when a roadblock's going to pop up, like, you know, well,
Yeah.
we can't make that happen, you know, physically in the game engine, but hey,
Yeah.
good for them to try. You never want to be mediocre. You always want to push the
Yeah.
envelope. So
So
Yeah.
how excited are you about the re-release of the first Red Dead?
Oh, I think it's really great. I don't know. Um, I guess I don't know how many people didn't have the opportunity to play it that wanted to. You know what I
right,
mean?
There's a whole
Um,
generation out there because a lot of the younger kids started with 2. So now they're going to
yeah.
be seeing John's story, which is really cool.
right,
Well, yeah, I think that, like you said, Rockstar does they do a great job of trying to find obviously the threshold of the capabilities of the technology, but they do for sure write a really, really good story. So, I think it's gonna be difficult, I guess, for people to know what RDR2 is as far as the way it looks
Mhm.
and all the things you can interact with. And it may be that you're going to feel limited if you play Red Dead Redemption.
right.
I hope that
It
doesn't take away from it.
it actually
Yeah,
is very smooth. I mean, it's
Good.
an older
yeah,
game,
yeah.
but
She bought it like the
yeah,
day of. Yeah,
immediately.
she texted me like, "Hey, when you get home from work, can you download?" She's like, "Never mind, I'm already home. I'm downloading." I'm like,
I
"Okay,
was like,
cool."
I've
So
got this. So
we
it's
were ready.
actually very smooth. It
Yeah,
holds up. It's
it
like
looks
13
good.
years
Yeah,
old. Yeah, but it holds up.
it's
So
different, but I think that streamline of just John's story and the gameplay is kind of nice because Red Dead 2 is such an open world experience. It can be overwhelming. You know, it's one of those things, you know, you always see people joke
there's
on
too
the
much
internet.
to do.
Yeah, I've done 10,000 side quests and I still haven't got Arthur like out of the first camp, you know. So you
Yeah.
know, with John's story, it's a little more fast paced. You can still do a lot, but they
Mhm.
did a great job on the port. I think it's gotten a lot of positive reviews.
Good.
Like you said, it's gonna, you know, introduce to me. It's cool because the second one is kind of a prequel to Red Dead 1. So now
Yeah.
kids can play it in order, you know, and see like, okay, this picks up right where kind of the second one left off, and I know these characters. You know, Steve Palmer, you meet up with right away, and you get to, you know, mess around with him. So
Yeah.
get to hear him do Bill, you know, on full tilt Bill, you know, in the first one. So you know, it's
Yeah.
cool, man. It's cool.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that you feel that way as gamers who know what you're talking about. I'm
Right,
so
right.
glad that that's your review of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Undead Nightmare comes with it
Yeah.
as well,
Yes,
Yeah.
right?
it
Yep.
does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait to start
Yeah.
that one. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's like the fun off like side story. But yeah, I can't wait to break into that.
Yeah. Candace is one of those people like she looks in every drawer of
I
every
do.
building for
100%
like literally like
completion.
yeah, like I expect her to be around the house just opening drawers and cupboards and just trying to find, you know, treasure cuz
Hey, if it's
that's kind of
free, I
hey, it's
mean, I
cool,
want to
man.
pick it up. So
Right. Right. No.
I love it. I love it.
That's cool, man. Yeah, you got to love it.
Yeah.
oh
Yep.
man.
No, it's in a lot of it too for like us, you know, older gamers who actually played it when it came out on PS3. It is fun nostalgia because there's a few games like the Uncharted series and a couple things where when Candace and I first got married, that was some of the games we were playing when we were newly married. So we were hanging out, just kind of watching each other play, and there's that nostalgia. But then kind of looking at it and talking to some of the younger fans, like on you know some of the ones that we met in Arizona, and
Yeah.
them, you know, either they played it too when they were a lot younger, or for the first time they're like, "This is awesome, man! Yeah, let's do more John, and you know, let's get bounty hunting, and you know, going after the gang, you know." So they're, I think everybody's kind of loving it, man. It happened at a good
Good.
time. It happened at a good time, I
For
think.
sure. Yeah.
Good. That's so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah. Cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, so being John for 13 plus years now, John Marston playing him, are there certain aspects of his like personality, some favorite storylines, even just working behind the scenes that you definitely are like your favorite parts of his life?
Oh gosh. There are so many things. I guess when anybody's interacting with a character for this long, of course you
Hmm.
do there are a lot of things too. John is very grumpy and he's got a reason to be, but
Right.
he's
Yep.
also very rough and he's
Hmm.
very tough. And of course, I want to believe that I would be that.
He's very matter of fact, which I like that he doesn't suffer fools like that, especially in the first one, the dialogue, some of the stuff he says to people is your inner monologue. He's saying it out loud. Like when someone's being dumb, he lets them know right out of the
He's
gate.
feisty.
You're
It's
dumb,
great.
man. Yeah. Which I love. I love that. Yeah.
That is, so it's such a great character to be able to play. You're not afraid of anything or
Right.
anyone. And I kept being reminded by the director when I would have questions, he would just say, just remember, John Marston is not afraid of anything
Right.
or anyone. And I thought,
Nope.
but so, as far as things that I really like, though, I mean, this is something that I don't know that I learned. I don't know personally if I really knew what this was until I had a wife and kids, right? And I know that what's important to me is the happiness and well-being of my wife and kids. And John, how could he know what was the right thing for him to do or how to behave? He didn't have, like, he wasn't grounded with strong parental figures that
Right.
that taught him, really, this is what morals are, and this is what this means, and this is why it's important, and whatever.
Right.
But once he found out what it was that he felt was his own purpose, there was not a thing that would stop him from fulfilling what he felt was his responsibility. And I really, really admire that, because that's what I think I want to be for my family. So
Right.
that, again, that's something that I didn't even really know was important to me until I had a wife and family, kids, but
Right.
now that I do, I get it. And so I respect that a lot in John.
That's awesome, because that's part of his evolution that I completely appreciate. So like seeing him in one, it's like he discovered that, found it, realized that was important. So that's why I took to his character so well, is I absolutely love Marston. But then in two, I was like, what is he doing? He's floundering. Like, this is awful. Like, I understand the redemption arc of why he needed that, because he didn't know, like you said, he didn't have that guidance. He didn't have that example, because it sounded like he hated his father. His mother died, then he had Dutch and Hosea. But, you get to a point where it's like, until you discover that and realize, but it's just, I went on such an emotional roller coaster ride with your character. So,
Right.
You're better than this. I know you are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he was annoying. He was really annoying. And, what was fun too, is that also I can really identify with when my sister who's 3 years older than me, when we were in high school, she was a senior when I was a freshman. And so I had this built-in, like, I know all the seniors. So that means that I'm cool, like all the seniors. Well, the seniors didn't all necessarily agree with that.
Right.
And, you got to earn the respect of your elders, and you got it, whatever. And so I remember times where I thought, okay, I'm going to be the life of the party here, even though I wasn't invited to, the party. I just happened to live at the house where the party's being held.
Right.
Anyway, and I remember that feeling of, I want the same respect that everyone gets, but I don't know how to get it. I don't understand. And so, when John was being that punk that nobody likes, I was that guy in real life too, for sure.
Man, you got to draw from experience, man. There's always a little kernel in each character, that you can.
I love the evolution.
You can draw from. That's
great.
That's high school John is Red Dead 2 John. Yeah. High school party John. Yep. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's funny because a lot of the second one I've watched. I've played online quite a bit. We played with friends, but I've actually watched Candace play through the story arc. And when she got, it was like, yeah, Arthur's okay. Like, Arthur's cool. I don't know if this might have to be edited out, but I always say I feel like Arthur is an NPC in his own game. You're playing as him, but to me, I don't relate to somebody that doesn't have those, constant struggles like John. I kind of like that character that kind of is a punk sometimes. But
the thing is, Arthur did have the struggles, but it wasn't on film. It wasn't in the game. It was like this side story that you had to kind of research.
Right. And see,
so
I hate reading, so I don't want to read his journal and all that. You know, if you don't show me, it didn't exist.
See, I dug into it. I did the parallel, so like I get
research.
it. I respect him. So,
but one of the funnest parts for me, honestly, which it could be because we're getting older again, and you kind of your life views change a lot from when you're younger. Like when the first game came out, you know, we were in our 20s and stuff. But in the epilogue, the very beginning when John's trying to hide his identity after the gang starts splitting up, and you have to do like grocery getting missions for the farm, you know, for the ranch, and go deliver stuff. And I'm like, this is awesome, man. And I thought, man, how lame am I now that I think like, you know, grocery getting simulator in the cowboy game is like the funnest, coolest.
He's picking up the mail and it's awesome.
He's going, you know, like, hey, Marston, can you go get, you know, this bushel of, you know, apples? And I'm like, this is awesome, man. I'm like, I'm getting old, man. But you know, to me, it's kind of cool because you're like, your values change and his values are already changing in that epilogue where you're like, he's just trying to make it happen for his family, you know, and anyone who has a 9 to 5, who has to do the grind constantly, you have to think every day, hey, I'm doing this for my family and I'm doing it for the bigger picture. This might not seem glamorous, you know, I'm not out bounty hunting or shooting it up or robbing trains, but getting apples can be fun, you know. Not all bad.
Hey man, if it pays for the ranch, who cares, right?
It's paying for the ranch, man.
It's paying for the ranch.
Go get them apples.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. I just had that pretty much same conversation at work, because I've decided all these people that I always say I want to have my own garden, you know, but then I see like my neighbor has a great garden and he's out there working on it all the time.
Right.
And so I say I want to do that because I think it's so cool, but also I don't want to do it because I don't want to put that much work into it.
It's a lot of work and time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you have animals anywhere that live around you, then you're only going to get half the produce. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this guy has so much, like so many tomatoes, everything that he grew. It just went really well for him this year. So he's got so much extra, and he gave us, I don't even know how many, but a whole bunch of cucumbers. And so I decided I'm not a huge fan of I don't hate cucumbers, but I really love pickles.
Me too. So, thank you. I literally, are you a juice drinker? When the pickles are all gone, do you hit the jar too afterward? Because that's me. That's how much I love pickles.
I think you love them more than I do.
Probably.
Yeah, I won't drink them.
Whenever, because Candace will pick them off like a burger, and I'm like swooping down like a vulture. I'm like, you are not letting those go to waste. Those are my pickles.
No.
I eat them afterward. It's the afterward. I'm like, stop eating my pickles.
But anyway, you're right.
Well, no, but so I'm like at work asking people, like, anybody ever made pickles before? And everyone perks up. Like, I have. And you're gonna love it.
Right.
And somebody said, isn't it crazy that we're so excited that we have pickle recipes? And I'm like, yeah, I guess it is kind of, but
and they're all a little bit different too. So
well, it's funny. We've had that conversation over the last year because we growing up in Michigan, there's a lot of all of our family are like Polish or German, Austrian. So in the 80s, everybody's grandma's basement, like by the laundry room, there was pickled everything. They just had random jars of like, it looked like a science experiment. Oh, and I'm like, man, you know what? It'd be cool to like start pickling our own stuff. We got space in the basement. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm my grandma now, dude. Like what happened? Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. Like I'm relating more and more to my grandparents, which whatever.
That's what happens. Like we get older.
Yep.
You can fight it all you want.
Right. It's gonna happen, man.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Embrace it.
No, I appreciate that in games or stories, include that stuff. It's like, you know what? I get it now. I get
basic
it.
things
So
of life,
I appreciate it. So
make the big picture.
Oh man. That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know that you said you don't typically play, but when you do play, do you have a preference for like guns you use during the game?
I don't. I honestly don't even know how to switch. I do.
Right. So the Kelman revolver.
You can.
Yeah.
I know that you can, but I don't. It's starting to rain. I hope that doesn't affect anybody's sound or anything.
No, it should be fine.
We're good.
But yeah, I don't. I think more than anything, I'm more overwhelmed again by what it looks like in the game versus what I saw when we were shooting, and what I know what the characters actually look like in person versus what they look like in the game.
Right.
That would be hard to know the actor in the suit.
Yeah. And of course, everybody knows the characters, you know, like the Vanderlyn gang. Of course, most of us know what those people look like in person, but you know, the other thing, I guess it's the other characters and you know, whatever. Even with Red Dead Redemption, when I first played that, however many years ago, I remember just being like, not many people have this perspective to know what both things look like.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And it's hard to explain maybe because of that, but that is what's. There's a guy that we worked with when we did go into the sound booth who kind of was like the second AD or whatever, first AD, whatever he was, but did a lot of the stuff that is just done in the sound booth, which you know, like grunts and you know, a lot of the conversations when you're riding on horseback.
Right.
Yep.
You don't have to do performance capture for that because
Right.
you're just sitting there talking anyway, really.
Yeah.
What would you
Right.
do? But he would show me like clips of different things, whether it be a horse walking through the snow and you could see how the snow would react to the horse,
Right.
and then there would be footprints left and all these things. And he's like, you know, we're not able to really differentiate. We know this is a video game, but this is really, there's no horse, there's no snow, there's nothing that it's all
Right.
ones and zeros that someone put together to make it look like that.
Right.
And I think that for me is like when I see it in the game, that's where I'm just blown. Like none of this is real. None of it
Right.
No.
is there, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the thing for me, I think, when I play, that I'm just blown away, but it's just
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to
Because
comprehend.
just the coding in the game, and then on top of it in Red Dead 2, the weather system that moves through the different terrain. I
Yeah.
don't know how they do, like, how do you do this? How do you pull this off? Because it's different every single time you play. And it's a random algorithm that happens, but it changes the location, what you're experiencing, how your character's reacting. And I'm like, this is too much code. I don't know how they did this, how they pulled it off.
Right.
No, I don't know.
And
Well, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, you know, we always hear a lot of the, like, you know, voiceover and motion capture. You know, all the actors when they first see it, they're like, "Oh, that's what I was doing. I was sitting on a box with a stick hitting this cushion, and it was me riding on a horse beating a guy," or so. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea what I was like. What, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna put my heart into it. And then they see it and they're like, "Oh, that's what I was doing. Oh, okay, then now it makes sense." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. The whole process is really cool, including seeing the finished product, of course, you know.
Right.
So yeah, it's wild.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that's kind of a good segue, I guess, into Tombstone, because
Yeah.
you know what we're talking about with the actors and knowing, and especially since, you know, some of the characters do, like Curzon and Hosea look a little bit similar, but some of the character, you know, you don't look like John, you don't have, you know, wolf claws on your face, thank goodness, you know, hopefully that never happens.
There is a
little bit,
resemblance.
a little
There
bit,
is a
but
resemblance.
some of the characters look nothing like that, and you know, you're just picturing the scene and the actors and everything, and then getting everybody together, you know, is very cool, you know, for us anyway, you know, getting thrust into that. But
Oh man,
you know,
yeah.
So the whole event, you know, we've just talked to Mick and kind of reminisced about the whole thing. I mean, I know you had a part in it with Kenny, kind of getting the thing kind of up and going. Like, honestly, what did you think when this whole idea came about for the Tombstone Redemption event? What did you think was going to happen? What were your expectations, or you know, hopes versus what you thought, you know, might go down? I mean,
you know, for me, honestly, initially it was just to try and find a way to get us all together in person, because we've been in touch with each other from the, you know, the rap, I guess, of Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's through text message.
right.
A lot during COVID. A lot of times we would actually have Zoom calls where we would hang out, and that was really cool. But I just realized over time that our communication together, however we do it, has not slowed down. We all interact with each other, whether it be to congratulate each other on achievements, or to just make fun of each other, or whatever.
Right.
It's more than just that we are work colleagues. It's we're actually genuinely friends, and we know each other well enough to know each other's family members' names and things that are going on in their lives. Anyway, I really thought that it would be cool to hang out in person, and so I started asking people, like what can we do? How can we do this? And then also get fans involved. And so what's the best way to do that? And everybody was immediately on board, said they wanted to do that too, which makes sense. And I guess, of course, I never expected anything like Tombstone Redemption to have. That was insane. It was so good.
Yeah. No, I mean, when we first heard about it, Candace had just started really playing the game in earnest like a few months before it. I think it was
I had just gotten the platinum. So I was like really fresh off of 2, and I was like, all right, now I need to meet these guys.
Right. Because I heard about it and I was like, we're going to Arizona, aren't we? She's like, oh, I already booked the flight, the room, the car. Like she was already like 3 steps ahead.
Within the hour after the announcement, I was like, when is it? Where is it? I was like, all right, I got to start planning.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I don't think anybody expected, Ken included. I know that we all, once we really started planning it, and I guess once Ken really started planning it, and we were all given the information about what was potentially going to exist at this event, we all got real excited and wanted to help spread the news, best we could, so that as many people could experience this as possible. But I really don't think that anybody expected at all for it to be what it was. And it was so nice. We all somehow, our flights all got into was it Tempe? Wherever we flew into.
Yep.
Tucson.
Tucson. That's
it
where
was Tucson. Yep.
So our flights all landed within 45 minutes of each other. So we all got off our planes and immediately we're all together. Then we got on a bus that took us into Tombstone, and I'm telling you, it was right back to the green room. It was the exact same stuff that we all loved and enjoyed so much about each other from our experience, while we were working together. And so we got to enjoy, our company with each other. And then we went, most of us went on a horseback tour.
I saw some of the pictures. I was like, oh, that's so cool that they got to do that before everything kicked off.
So cool. And our hotel was awesome. It was so great. We had like our own little town.
The ranch looked amazing. Yeah, that's so cool, man.
Yeah. And I would not have changed a single thing. I mean, I only would and this is what everybody says too. Only if we had more time to enjoy it all.
That's literally that's what Mick said. He said the only complaint I have is it wasn't long enough and we didn't get there early enough to really soak it in, because it was amazing. That's kind of how we were. Be honestly, I mean, I'm sure everyone had great expectations. You see online a lot of people are saying they're going to go or they want to go or try to make it happen, but we're expecting it'd be cool if 1,000 people showed up or whatever, so this will be fun. It'll be cool.
4 to 5.
It'll be good. It'll probably do another one next year. And then what happened was okay, this is serious, man. This is no joke.
10,000 people.
Yeah, this isn't a normal con, because even in a con where there's maybe 10,000, 20,000 people, they're there to see a bunch of different things. This was this is all for you guys, so I hope you're ready, because it's all about 10,000 people just for you guys. So
and I feel like a lot of the fans were playing their cards pretty close to the chest, because everybody planned on going, but nobody was really talking about it, because we were like, we don't want to overwhelm the city. So then once we all showed up, it was like, oh, you guys were all planning on coming anyway and bringing all of your families. So it was like, okay, well, I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did, because obviously it was a huge success, and everybody had a fantastic time. But it's now the word's out. So next year is going to be even bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger on all fronts too, according to, and nothing there is set in stone either. And I'm sure as soon as anything is, of course, everybody will be made well
Yeah.
aware of it. But
Yeah.
the plans already are more ambitious than what they even were for Tombstone.
Hey,
So
man.
That's good though. That's great.
yeah.
That's
And
good
I hope
news.
to God, that both of you are there, because I promise you,
We will be. No,
We'll be there.
Ken is gonna let us know right when it happens too. Like we're in the mix, we're in the loop.
Everything will be booked within the
Yeah,
hour as soon as I
yes.
have a date and location. So
Yeah, no, we're all good. We're texting Jeff, we're texting, getting a hold of Ken, we're texting him, and he'll let once everybody. I think everyone's still fully recovering. You know what I mean, like physically and emotionally. So, like I know, Jeff went on his Hawaii vacation and stayed there, and was like, one word sentence is like I'm like detoxing from the chaos that just
yeah,
happened.
chaos.
So,
Yeah.
which I totally get, man. It was and it's cool because I had been reaching out to, like, I talked to Kylie for a while beforehand, and Mia, and talked to Christine, maybe trying to get a hold of you if we had time. Things, adult life, things go super fast, and by the time we're out there. But it
yeah,
just the excitement beforehand was so cool because, like, I posted something of us in the Detroit airport, and Mia messaged me on Instagram, "Hey, I know DTW when I see it. What's up?" Like Michigan, we're all Michigan bros. We're getting all hyped up and
yeah,
excited, and that energy just kind of fed the entire and never stopped the whole event. I mean, everyone was so cool, and that's one thing we told Mick and have been telling everybody. Just for us as outsiders, it's absolutely all about you guys, and we know that, and we wanted to let you guys know, like, hey, we're interested, we're gonna help out, we want to hang with you guys, but we're not gonna be all in your business. But how welcoming you guys were to us, to all the helpers, to everyone involved, the fans. I mean, it's just so cool to see that energy that you don't always see from, especially for a lot of people. They look up to you guys, or the characters are so meaningful. The adage, never meet your hero, is you're always worried, like, man, if we meet these guys, are they going to be, standoffish or whatever? And just, you guys are so welcoming. Just for Candace and I's, standpoint, I mean, we couldn't have felt more welcome and included, and kind of mini part of the, we were kind of like little NPCs maybe that you found along the way. We're kind of part of the Vanderland gang. We're maybe a couple straggler guys that are helping out for a mission, but it's so cool, the energy and how awesome you guys were and welcoming. For us, it couldn't have gone. I mean, it just blew away our expectations and what we were hoping
We
for.
had a lot of fun. It was fantastic.
Amazing.
I am so happy to hear you say that, and thank you for those are very kind words and very much appreciated. And I will speak for myself and say that I completely agree with you. Everyone, these are the kind of people that you want to cheer on. I promise you, and I love that about each one of them. They're just really cool, appreciative people, and not like I said, none of this is expected, right? The turnout and whatever. But it is so much appreciated. Every one of us have been still sending messages back and forth to each other through our text chain, how overwhelmed and appreciative we are of all the fans and everybody that was involved. And you two, especially, you say you certainly are part of whatever we've got going, for sure. And I remember, I remember on the first day for sure, where Jeff came up to me at one point. He said, "You have to eat. You have a sandwich up there.
Yes.
You have to go eat,
Yeah.
and you don't have to take a half an hour, but you have to eat something." And I said, "All right." So I went and I ate, and I came back, and neither one of you had eaten. I remember, and you were like, "No, but we're good." But I'm good. And I thought, this is not okay. You need to eat. And then I also thought at the same time, I have no idea how to make that happen.
I know. I was just like, we have beef jerky. Well, that day we ended up, when we went to the panel, I was eating beef jerky in Shufflin Hall and drinking an electrolyte drink, because I was like, I know this is disrespectful because of the history, but I'm just like, you know what? It's kind of on point because it's beef jerky. So.
Right.
So I was good. I was good after that.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, it was if you guys can handle that, you can handle anything. It was nonstop for 11, 12 hours for each of you as well. And so thank you very, very much.
It was nothing for us. I mean, we're used to that kind of grind, and our jobs both involve, wrangling people, and we've been in the con scene for a while. Obviously we know some of the same people, but to
Yeah.
me that's fun. And again, if there's positive energy in the room, me and her can go 72 hours straight, no problem, with
Yeah.
nothing. Because
Yeah.
I love that. I love, I come from a family of schmoozers and talkers. Obviously, I'm, not a bunch of shy people in my family. So,
Right.
that energy of just talking to the fans too, while you guys are, signing an autograph, or somebody's breaking down crying, joking, with the one girl, I thought we kind of met up with
She
everybody.
was
Like,
so sweet. I
she
loved
just,
her.
again, it was that kind of being in the heat, the emotional release alone, and then seeing you guys finally making it to the finish line, and it's
Mhm.
awesome. The one girl started breaking down, and I joked, I was like, yeah, he's been making me cry all day, man. Just, stuff like it, just being goofy and having fun with people and trying to make their experience less stressful, or,
Yeah.
bringing the anxiety level down. I feed off that. Like that, to me, that's so much fun, the whole thing, and how
Well,
awesome you
it was
guys were. We had a blast, man.
it was definitely an honor and
Yeah.
a pleasure to be working with all of you, and you were
Yeah.
phenomenal. I was like, oh my goodness, he's so laid back. This is great. So it
Well, thank you.
it was a wonderful weekend, and on top of it, I told Ken, I was like, if there's any way I can help make this event a success, please put me to work. Please use me for that, because I'm here. Like,
Right. We're
Yeah.
ready. We're ready to
I
go,
want to
man.
contribute. Like, I want
Yep.
to make sure this takes off. So
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you certainly were there. There's no doubt about that. Both of you really, really made things so, in a situation like that, I guess when you have that much going on, it's chaos, but
it
it was
is.
as
Right.
controlled as it could possibly be because
Right.
of the two of you.
Mhm.
So thank you for doing that. And then also, I just want to say one more thing about Tombstone Redemption that, again, every one of the attendees has said over and over and over again. And Ken, the producer, and the whole mastermind behind the whole thing. The Red Dead community not only is very supportive to us, and that of course is very much appreciated, but you take care of each other so well, and that is just so cool to see. And I don't know, it's like there's not I've never seen anyone be disrespectful to anyone else in this community. Never. I have never seen it, and I'm sure it's happened, but it's just a really cool thing to be part of. And
I was going to say that too. The respect everyone has for each other, and it's genuine. It's not,
Mhm.
phony, or trying to like look like you're a cool person. Everyone legit cared about everybody else. They were the town. I again love Tombstone. We've told everybody, go there, visit. It's amazing. The locals are great. They're all super nice people. But
yeah,
there, we went to breakfast Friday before we did a bunch of the touristy stuff, because we got in a couple days earlier, and we had heard reports that some of the locals weren't real sure what was going to go. Some kind of newfangled video game thing. I don't know. They're going to burn the town down or something. Crazy. All these crazy kids. Who knows what's going to happen. And we heard a couple old timers at the breakfast place we were at. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know, some kind of dumb idiot video game thing. I got to go take a nap. I'm out of here, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on." So they weren't sure, but by about noon Saturday, everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Wow, this is awesome." They're loving the history. They're really digging into the old West, but everyone's being super cool and respectful and polite. And we never saw anybody be even remotely funny or even grumpy, or I mean, just it was nothing but smiles and happiness. And everyone we were around was just loving going to the shops, talking with the storekeepers, talking with old timers just sitting on a porch somewhere, and a bunch of people would just start up a conversation, and they all of a sudden you hear the whole history of Wyatt Earp's life from birth to death, just like that doesn't happen with a lot of communities, and especially with that many people. And that's a big shout out to the Red
Mhm.
Dead community.
100%.
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of us people online that never got to meet each other, like at different Comic Cons,
Right.
there was a lot of people there that we were like, "Hey, I know you from online. I follow you
Right.
on Twitter. I follow you on Instagram. Hey, I've seen your cosplay for this. Oh, I like your artwork." So it was like we were all taking pictures with each other, and like, okay, like maybe we'll see you around at the next one. So that was a really cool experience, because we've met up with people before, we've met online, but this was like a whole new level. So Red Dead community definitely represents.
so I mean, it's so great. Couldn't ask for anything better.
No.
Couldn't even ask for what it is now. You can't ask for that. If it is that, then
Right.
just appreciate it. You know,
Exactly.
it's so great.
Yeah, no, totally. It blew us away. Again, the coordination, Ken did an amazing job. All the handlers did awesome.
Yeah.
You guys obviously were awesome. I mean, to me, it's the cool part is just talking with you guys by probably about noon, 1 o'clock on Saturday. And everybody's like, we're not leaving, right? Like, we're going to see everybody until we pretty much all have to, call an ambulance pretty much. And they're like, oh yeah. We're not, the panel can wait. We'll be late, like everybody knew right away. You guys all said to each other and to us, like, we're in this for the fans. Like, we're in it for the long haul. Like, we're not going to turn people away. So that's awesome that you guys did that too. That's huge.
Well, yeah, we don't have prima donna. We just don't have them. Thank God. We don't have them, So it's really a healthy, it seems to me to be a healthy, and I've said this about just Rockstar in general, but like for sure, a lot of the people from Rockstar would probably love to come hang out and enjoy this too, but they are busy. One,
right,
obviously. Two, it's just, but I don't, like these are people that make me want to be a better person. And I couldn't appreciate that much more. I couldn't appreciate it more. So, it's a really, really good thing that's going on. And I'm just really happy to be part of it.
That's awesome, man. And that I think is a huge testament, the fact that you guys keep in touch that much. And when you do, someone's a friend when you get together and you don't start like, oh, it's been so long, but you go right into the last weird conversation you were in. That's a true, like no time has passed. We're back to talking about, whatever weird thing we were last talking about, like nothing ever happened. That's when, you guys are actually friends. There's the formalities are gone. It's just, hey man, how's that foot thing you were dealing with, or something weird like that. Like,
yeah. So cool. And there were a couple new people that I didn't know as well. Jim Peary, who played Angelo Bronte.
Oh,
got
awesome.
to know him.
Yep.
He's
and such a sweet
cool
dude.
Guy.
Such a cool guy, man. So sweet.
Robert Bogue. Red Harlow. Are you kidding me? I mean, that guy is hilarious.
He's amazing.
Oh yeah. No, we had a great time. We still joke about this because I try to describe everybody in like inanimate object terms. And when we were on the way back, I think it was from the Sunday panel when we rode with you guys in the trolley and you and Robert were in the back with us, and we were just talking. We got home like a couple days later and I said, and this is a total compliment to Robert. I was like, that dude is a human Ferrari. Like he just reminds me of like he's literally like a Miami Vice episode as a like he's so cool. And like just when he's we're talking about like weight loss and chocolate or whatever and it's like he just makes it sound cool. Like going on a diet sounds like, super
edgy. The best positive energy ever.
Yeah, he's like got such cool energy, man. He's just like I want to be that guy. Like he's so cool.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I know. I love it. And again, just if there was more time to get more of that. It was all so good. Of course we want more of it,
Right. Yeah, that and we've tried to we obviously everybody's posting pictures and videos and everything, but to try to describe it to some of our other friends, it's like this wasn't a Comic-Con experience. This was like at least to us, and
it was
I'm
very
sure you guys,
special
to me and Candace. I mean, we were buzzing about it, like the whole, for we're still buzzing about it. Somebody will post something and it just like brings all, I think it's between the heat and being on top of each other and just the never say die. To us again, we don't want to horn in on your guys' thing, but we felt so included and part of it, and just it was such an experience. It was like. That was special. Like it wasn't just a normal, we got to see some cool people. That was like things happen that, if you weren't there, you don't really understand how cool it was and how special the whole entire thing was. It was one of the coolest highlights of, anything I've ever done.
Well, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it so much. I feel the same way. And I'm also so glad that there will be opportunities in the future to do this again. And I'm really excited about that too.
Yeah, for sure. And the more people that can, if it's the more centralized it is, it'd be cool to have more people. And we, there's a ton of our like UK friends that would love to come, Europe and just everywhere.
Yeah.
now that they know that this is the real deal, this isn't, some little thing in somebody's basement. This is like an actual huge event. I think, it'll more people next year from overseas will be out and
Yeah.
make that trip and make it, and hopefully more of the actors, can free up time. And, we were hoping, we're missing Lenny and Charles and, all those guys. And, obviously Roger couldn't make it. It'd be cool to have, even more of the crew and cast show up for the next one if possible. So,
That'd be great. Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody's all for it. Everybody's all for it. So
yeah.
that was one other regret that I have is at our panel on, I think it was the second day, when somebody and I can't remember exactly what question was asked, but I think somebody asked Alex something about our appreciation for our fans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she said anything. She just stood up and started clapping.
Right. Yep.
And so we all did, because we all thought, yeah, that's exactly right. The only thing that I regret is that we didn't get crazier and get really wound up, because that would have been fun and it would have been appropriate.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
That's what I was expecting. But again, it was funny because the Saturday panel, like that was when we sat down in the hall on Saturday. That was the first time I thought stuff started spinning and I started seeing things. I'm like, oh, I need to hit up some. I need an electrolyte pack and some food here real quick, because once you sit, you're going in the moment and then you sit down. But like, even I think somebody had asked a question kind of at, I think, some of the ladies and Alex. Somebody was like, Alex, what do you think? Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm like uncharacteristically quiet and kind of just we're all a sweaty mess on Saturday, and it took a lot out of you guys, but again, we learned our lesson Sunday. Everybody brought deodorant and a change of clothes, and we were good. But yeah, that's, to me, it was, there almost wasn't enough time to think about hooting and hollering and kind of acting up, because it was just nonstop. Cool. Yeah. I mean, it was awesome, but yeah, next time we'll have maybe a pre-game.
I was gonna say, next time Rob will start a riot in whatever hall we're in for the panel.
There you go.
Yeah,
right.
Fans, let's go.
Right. That's right, man. That's right. Yeah, I'll let you throw me out the window instead of that other random guy that got thrown out.
If you jump up on the desk, that would be totally fine. I don't think we're allowed to, but you can.
I'm all about a bar jump, man. Let's jump up on the bar. Well, it'll be the worst Coyote Ugly that anyone's ever seen, man.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Or the best. I don't know.
Yeah, or the best. You never know.
Right.
Awesome,
yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Oh man.
Such a special thing that happened. Yeah.
It was. And I've been talking, as soon as I think I'm over it, or like, kind of winding down from the roller coaster, I think it was Alex or somebody posted you guys in front of the stagecoach just randomly, and I'm just like, oh man, I want to go back again. Like,
right,
dang, man,
yeah.
so good.
I know. I think we all feel that way. It's great. It's really great.
No, that's so cool, man. So good. Yeah,
we'll just have to keep an eye out for the next announcements. So everybody check socials, check out Tombstone Redemption or Redemption 2.0.
Right, whatever it becomes, we'll
because I know he's working on a new website, so he's going to have all the information once he secures it. So make your plans. RSVP, that's important.
Yeah, I was going to say we all need to RSVP. That we.
Yeah,
I think we did. I let Candace handle all that, so if she doesn't, I can blame her.
We were on the list.
Okay, that's good. I mean, they knew
somehow. Yeah, 2 more people here than RSVP when we look at you guys.
Right, exactly.
It's like that's us.
Yeah, you're done. But we're helping. Doesn't matter.
Check the list. My name's there.
Yeah. Even though I invited you to help, you didn't RSVP, so you're done. Oh man.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah. No, I want you 2 to come everywhere I go.
Hey man, we're there, man. We're there.
Let us know. We'll be there.
We'll make it. We'll make it happen, man. We'll make it happen.
Talk to Jeff. Tell him to call me.
Right. Yep.
Right. All right.
All right. Yeah. Well, we don't want to keep you too long, but before we end it, we always try to end it with, we're having a lot of fun here, but we got to get down to a couple serious topics here. So we got a couple of big heavy hitter questions. So we always start with the first one, and this has been, I've been losing a lot of friends lately because of differing viewpoints, but in the house, and I feel like I already kind of know where this is going to go, but that's all right. In your house, what is the preferred flooring in like living spaces or for comfort? Do you like hardwood or carpet?
Oh, hardwood, but can I say something though?
Yeah.
I would love carpet, and I would love to have carpet, but we have dogs and
Yeah, when you
kids.
All right. See,
And-
I like
and
that
me.
answer. Well,
And
yeah.
my dirty boots,
Yeah.
dirty boots, everything.
Yep.
it's easier to keep clean.
It is. And
Yeah.
I see, I respect that answer because usually people are like, oh, hardwood, hardwood and throw a rug on it. And I'm like, dude, part of it is the AV guy in me. I do like sound systems in the home theater and stuff. And hard surfaces are the worst for sound. And I just
Right.
I tell everybody, sometimes I like to just lay down and pass out on the floor, man. And I can't do that on hardwood. So, I like cushy. I just, obviously bathrooms, dining rooms, kitchens, you want like a hard surface for cleanup. But,
Sure.
Yeah. If I spill something, I'll clean it up, man. They have all kinds of scientific spray bottles you can. So that's me personally. But I like at least your heart's in the right place. So I'm down with that. I get it.
If it was up to me, we would have shag. I mean,
Yes.
just make it as soft
Yes.
as you can. and
Yes. Austin
like a-
Powers hangout, man, for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure. I'm
Awesome.
all about that too. I'd like to lay on the floor.
Hey, man.
No.
You got to do what you got to do sometimes after a long day. So I know how it is, man. Yeah, especially us trades guys, man. When you're, up on ladders all day and walking around on hard stuff, I just want to lay
Yeah.
down and kind of fall asleep in the embrace of some carpet. But the next one, this is kind of more of a open thing. What do you think the best cereal is?
Well, that's tough too. I think the one that I have enjoyed the most, and I'm not a huge cereal guy. I've been trying to do cereal again more.
Right.
But I like Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. That's the one that I always like the most.
Crunch Berries has always been one of my. That's
Yeah.
one of those like Saturday morning as a kid cereals that your mouth is all cut up and you don't even care because it was so
Don't
good.
care.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. And then you graduate, you get a little bit older, and you tell your mom, "Hey, I think I'm ready for just the pure Crunch Berries, Mom. Like leave the captain out of this. I just want the berries."
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
But yeah. Now, more recently though, I've been eating Honey Nut Cheerios, and they're
yeah.
not bad.
No, they're not.
And not
Do you
bad.
put a little honey? Do you hit them with a little bit of honey though, extra or any?
Actually,
sugar?
no.
No.
Just straight up
Go.
Honey Nut Cheerios. But
All right.
but my favorite part of cereal, regardless of what kind of cereal it is or ever has been, that's been my favorite. It's drinking the milk once you've eaten. all the cereal.
Absolutely, man.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the reward.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites is the either Cocoa Pebbles or Fruity Pebbles. You have a whole nother like strawberry or chocolate milk, like a whole bowl of it, and then you just pass out. Yeah, you just kind of pass out afterward. Get a little tummy ache, fall asleep. It's all good, man.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I don't respect cereal more. I do love it. I just don't.
It's sad. I don't know
think get it.
right. Yeah, no, I've always loved it, and we went through that phase where you eat it for dinner sometimes. You don't feel like making anything, man, it's been like years since I've had a bowl of cereal, and I'd love to, but
I just don't buy it.
Right, we just don't buy and we don't have time. It's one of those
Yeah.
things. Like
It's
especially
like
in the
coffee
morning.
or cereal in the morning. I'm looking
Right.
for coffee. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get Starbucks on my way to work. I'm a cool adult, so I need to make more
Yeah.
time for cereal. I think.
no, I
think
get
we
mine at
should-
home.
Yeah, I think we should all try a little bit harder to
I think so, man.
show some love to cereal.
I think
We
Yeah.
just should.
maybe
Sure.
maybe a weekend cereal party one of these days. We'll just get together and just eat cereal and make it happen.
Yes.
Little cereal
Everybody gets
vacation.
your favorite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll eat it, and we can talk while we're eating it. But
Right.
when it becomes time to drink the milk, it's just everybody just
Right. It's a
relaxes,
toast.
everybody-
Yeah. It's
It's
a
a
toast,
toast,
and
yeah.
and hit it up, man. Hit it up. Oh man, I love it. That's awesome. All right, last one. This is hopefully you're a little bit of a music guy. This is not what do you think is the best album ever, but what is your desert island album? If you're stranded on a deserted island, you only have one thing you have to have on a loop forever. Or it could even be just an artist. Maybe you can pick the album later, but
Okay.
what are you taking with you?
So I have to preface my answer with something.
Okay.
So I am from the small town that John Mellencamp sings about. John Mellencamp is
Yep.
from Seymour, Indiana, which is where I am from as well. So, of course, I love John Mellencamp. I do.
Yep.
And maybe it's because I'm biased, but maybe it's because it's really good.
Right.
because both are true,
Right.
possibly. But the album that most recently just I could not stop listening to, like Cut Grass, or whenever I have time
Right.
to actually listen to song back to back to back to back, and I enjoy every song. It's Chris Stapleton, The Traveler, maybe.
Okay.
But it's I'm not kidding you. Every single song on that is so good,
Right.
and it just,
Awesome.
yeah. So
That's
I would suggest that to anyone. He's got a newer album,
right.
but Traveler is the one.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
I actually I've seen a lot of Chris's videos. I'm not a big country guy. I do like some older stuff, but I'm like not a big modern country guy. But I do. He's
Right.
got a great voice, and it's kind of more rock elements. I'm a rocker, so he kind of incorporates some of that and good songwriting. So I can definitely get
Yeah.
down with that. Yeah, and he's done
And
some
I
cool covers. I mean, yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah. And he, for a long time, he just wrote songs, and he wrote a lot of songs that a lot of the older guys sang and made popular. But what I like about him is obviously his voice is great, but I feel like he's got a little bit of the more contemporary, obviously, than what Waylon Jennings or,
Right,
Johnny
right.
Cash, any of those
Right.
guys from way back in the day.
right,
But he's not a pop star, which I hate.
right. Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's what
Yep.
I don't like. Yeah,
No.
right.
What is that?
Yeah,
Why are you wearing?
Pick one.
Well, I always say modern country is typically the place where rockers and pop artists go to die when they can't make it in that actual field. They do the crossover thing. But the legit guys, I always kind of judge it like the Grand Ole Opry timeline, that kind of vibe. That's more what I get, as a kid. And just I'm a musician too. I play guitar. That to me had the better musician songwriting. Just it was kind of more I like the cowboy feel of country, not the whatever's going on now. There's some I've heard some stuff and I'm like, I couldn't even tell somebody where to file this under in the record store, man. Like it's so weird. But
I mean, I get, it's all art, and
Right,
it's all
right.
performance, and it all has
It
quality.
speaks to somebody.
Right.
It speaks to
Yeah.
somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not country. I don't know why you're pretending that it's something that it's not. It's just that's
Right.
not what it is.
right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So why is it okay to say that it's something that it's not? That's my question about it.
Right.
Whatever.
No, I'm a music snob too. I feel you, dude. Because I'm being nice right now, but I tell everybody my 2 cents, whether it's asked or not. When it comes to music. So I feel you, man. I feel you. I feel where you're coming from. But
Right.
all right, man. On that note, after we've alienated a couple of different music genre fan groups,
No, it's art.
no,
He said it's art.
We'll
It's
have our
great.
editor edit that part out if it gets too inflammatory. But hey, whatever. Oh man. All right,
Right
buddy.
on.
Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we hope to do it again, and we hope to do it again in person ASAP. So we'll keeping in touch and make something happen. So
Yeah, and thank you so much again for having interest in having me on. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to join anytime
hey,
that
man,
you want to do this again. So thank you.
love it,
Thank
love
you.
it. Yeah, yeah, we'll put your socials on there with where everybody can get in touch with you on social media. Do you have any other like projects or anything kind of coming up, or like just mostly Comic-Cons coming up that you want to? Hey, you're actually going to be at this year. I don't want to.
Yeah, God. Yeah, I made an announcement that I was going to be at Indie PopCon, and I'm not.
Right.
I'm not
yeah.
going there at all.
Hey,
In
man.
fact,
Hey, but 2024 you will be, but just not.
yeah, I'll be there in
Not
2024.
not this month. Not a year.
Not
from
this
now.
coming weekend, but or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's I will be at Northern Ireland, which is I think September 7th, 8th,
I
whatever.
think so. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
that first weekend of September.
Yep.
And then I've had some, I guess, are you interested in going to this convention from my agent? And I've said yes to all of them. So
Yep.
I don't think anything's set in stone necessarily for those, but there will be more coming up. And one of them I think is South Carolina. Another one is Wales, which would be
Very cool.
both would be awesome. But yeah,
Yeah.
as far as anything, Northern Ireland is the most
Yeah. Because
next.
Peter's going to be there, and I think one or two other is. Yeah, I think is Roger going to be there too. I think Peter will be there.
Roger
Roger.
Clark.
Yeah. Yep.
Alex McKenna also
Yeah, Alex is
will
going to
be
be there.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, the four of us will be. It'll be
Yeah,
great.
for
It'll be
sure,
That'll be
man.
so much fun.
Yeah, everybody in the area needs to go out there, man, for sure.
Yes, so
Yeah.
much fun.
Cool, man. Well, we'll try to work on. We're having our next Motor City Comic Con here around Detroit in November, so we're gonna start harping on them to try to get some of you guys at least sometime soon, get them down this way. So
Love to do it. Love to
man.
do it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, buddy. Well, thank you so
Okay.
much, and we'll talk to you again soon, hopefully.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
All right.